You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Yo, I can do the villain option.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess. And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too, so if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
I mean, technically, everyone includes the princess too, so
one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess. There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings,
I still don't know how air is doing that, like,
weren't just
what?
light.
The tiny hawk that still has the high speed
Is a path.
particle, what the fuck?
And not just a cabin. The cabin. An infinite
Nothing.
cabin.
I just don't know how you're doing that, like, tiny hawk that has the...
Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can.
Turn up the music instantly beta.
You
Nah,
care
no
more
way.
about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Oh,
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But
you're gonna love this thing.
otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know, I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day.
You just saw a breakable wall.
Plenty of ways you could pull that off.
Think about what
It
the...
did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. It hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead. What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
It's crazy.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, but when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. We'll look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice. Great. You keep your grip the way it is. Your task awaits. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Risa, what the fuck are you clapping at?
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases.
A video game.
You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere.
I'm sorry, when air spraying,
Concentrate on where you are. Careful to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else. And so you take one careful, focused step after another. 1 foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
Woman.
Woman?
What the hell was that? What happened to
Yeah.
us?
Look, it's a woman.
I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems... normal.
Princess. You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
I don't have any weapons, and I'm chained to a wall. Do I look like someone that could end the world? Do I look like a monster?
Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago. It must be fear creeping into your heart.
You know you can't stop me.
Do you need help? Not that there's much I can do while chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? You could always start by stabbing her. Which her? Any of them. I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine? Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch. Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. All at once you charge forward, might beaming to slay the princess just as you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world
collapse
in on themselves before
go fight the final boss.
Falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others they just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
Really got into that.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? It is. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that. You're right.
I thought they would get
God, it's just us and that awful thing. Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
I think the game wants me to push it.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
I'm gonna kill myself.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Oh.
How can the world have ended if we are talking? I know only that they are. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh, wait, the game closed.
That's
Anyway, I just have a
You have
weird
returned to me, though you were gone mere moments.
what do you mean you just had a dream? You're fucking awake, dumbass.
she asks that I tell you to remember her, you won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? It's over. don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that. You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side. What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. And away we go. Good call. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from that. Strange. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably but fine. You turn around and...
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? That son of a bitch flipped over the table, didn't he?
That's crazy.
You meet the final boss. That's crazy.
You're on a path. You're here to...
I'm gonna do it right this time.
You make a warning. She said that. Good. Focus on the...
And there you are.
You step...
Oh, I'm so.
She... You lunge. You feel...
This is. Do you?
It's like... Yeah, but it is...
Oh, I can't select the other options. Okay.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved.
The next chapter is the second longest in the
Only
game.
a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find
Just want to like
at all.
give you a heads up on
Forest
that.
stood mere minutes ago. The only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity.
Boo.
You're a
I'm going to kill you,
This is
Air.
what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Also, why does only the bad one have my canon skin color?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you,
What?
hero.
What the fuck do you mean chapter 2?
It's the only way out.
I said the next chapter is the second
Away
longest in the game.
There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
For real.
Don't you dare.
Keyword second.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything,
Look at you.
throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Because I thought that
You pick
this
up
was the
blade,
final boss.
yourself, and you
It's the final boss.
The end.
Keyword boss.
You're here. Oh. Do you think there's something else out there? Alright.
She's definitely 3 times what we bought out.
You're just going to turn around and leave. There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looked... Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't he? You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, but fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to... What's going on? Where are we?
I don't know, but it feels like home.
That's crazy, man.
You're on up, you're here. Yes, but you'll have... Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying... Are you serious? course I haven't. Why would I even... I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists. Or... You make a warning. She will lie. The interior of the blade. The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice
Hello?
is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here.
Have you tried going up?
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose you slowly walk down the basement stairs. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger? Oh, you coward!
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here. You step into the shadows. Too late, you hear the quiet patter of feet against the basement floor, followed by the taut pull and sharp pain of tearing flesh as the princess lunges into you from behind and drags you to the floor. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to... I can assure you that you're not dead. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's... If he doesn't remember what happened, there's something... You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible... Yes, we're safer taking flight. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path. Strange. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still... What's going on? Where are we? A dark place. Thoughts like us shouldn't be here.
You're on a... You're... The interior of the... Her voice is... Don't... Good. You walk down the stairs. I am
Okay.
Thank you. She has to. You rush up. Okay. You slowly creep. Where there is... Your eyes... Where... You close the door behind you. Almost, you step forward, and then you hear the quiet patter of feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders. The princess tears into you. Her teeth and claws are unnaturally sharp, ripping into your shoulders, digging into your throat. You fall to the ground, the princess eagerly tearing at your flesh.
Holy shit. What is she?
You can't say this shit word.
You roll the princess off your back and turn to face her, rising to your knees and readying your blade.
Those eyes. She's going to kill us.
Yes, things do look a little grim, don't they? The two of you are losing quite a lot of blood. But there's a reason she decided to strike from ambush. She isn't confident about a direct confrontation. Just because she's playing it safe
Docking
doesn't mean
Dream
we have the
6.
upper hand. Come on now. Don't let your confidence waver. This is an important moment.
I'm going to kill you.
The princess leaps onto you as you raise your blade in defense. You find your target and time after time you strike, but the wounds she inflicted in her ambush hinder your movements, and with each fresh exchange you're a little slower, a little weaker. You seek solace in the fact that she is slowing too. Finally, she collapses, and you collapse beside her.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for
from
this.
Brain.
Your grasp on the
At least that's playing Slay the Princess and forgot to start up the stream again, and Error's playing Celeste.
on the floor.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me.
This can't be how it ends, right? I'm sorry, but it is. You aren't making it out of this basement, but at least you finished the job. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. You're here. Well, you're the boss. Seriously? You're just going to... Fine. That's strange. You're really keen, but fine. You turn around.
Wait, something isn't right. What's I like it. Seems like it's got great acoustics.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here. You watch. You.
Wow.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had a
Got
chance.
my original
Come on down.
Earthquake Princess.
Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around. She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you...
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? So, you should...
You're so close. No, this is a good idea.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah,
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Damn it.
You were literally right
Blade
there,
tumbles
man.
out of your trembling hand.
thank you. Maybe now we can...
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the... We'll be fine.
He
I know
said
you've
his...
nothing to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then.
By the way,
I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there...
remember chapter 3?
Well, we can always put that...
Like, you know how the previous sections were chapter 1 and chapter 2?
Settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Again, she offers no specifics, no matter...
Oh? Have you decided what...
You know why... That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job. You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path, you're here. This is good. I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? Fine. I suppose you're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? But fine. You turn around and trick.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still... What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
You're hit. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way. The blade is your... You take...
Don't be a stranger.
She's so focused on...
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then drop the knife.
We should. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide... blade time
Thank you. Maybe now we can...
will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Do you...
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free. Fine. What do you want to know?
She hesitates before...
You?
You can't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key. Well,
She isn't. She is.
oh,
Oh, you have to be. You walk up to the chains binding the princess. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you.
if you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door... Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked. You're here to slay the... Your shouts, and I'll repeat myself once again. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you. The knife. Pick it up.
You won't like. Against your better judgment, you place the... You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, how is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her as the princess approaches the bottom stair. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse. This is the end. I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark. You're on a path. You're here. I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. Seriously? Somehow I doubt that, but I suppose you're really keen. But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right.
What did...
Oh hey, beat the game.
Quickly, that's crazy.